Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigval here, and welcome back to another video. As promised, I'm back with Golden Armor Wonder Woman. Last time we played her with the Jokerized Batarangs, which is kind of a pay-to-win artifact, and this time I'm going to use Dark Mel cards and see how good that goes, because that's most likely the artifact that you guys are going to use if you do decide to build her. And this is the build that I'm going for here. I could have gotten 30% more crit damage, but it's gonna be fine overall. The crit chance is not really maxed out, but with Dark Mel cards on, that really doesn't matter. Fast attack chance is kind of maxed out. And yeah, she's going to be only 3 stars, but that doesn't matter one bit. I got some comments on the previous video. Oh, but she's not maxed out, well, she's on 3 stars, she's gonna do some much better at 7 stars. No, usually characters do far better at higher star ratings because you're going to get higher level of the passives. Her passives don't do anything to help us deal damage. This passive is absolute garbage. It gives a percentage base attack, so it basically means each time we would trigger this, we would get let's say around 300 more attack. And bro, I'm giving her some heavy hitting artifacts. I'm going to give her level 6 Dark Mel cards, I'm going to give her level 3 Hand of Zatanna, and level 6 Jokerized Batarangs on the other 2 characters of the team. So she's getting a lot of passive stats from those things, which makes the little bit of additional attack that she would have by being higher star rating and maybe by triggering the passive, though I think if I would actively try to trigger the passive I would do less damage because of trying to do that. So it doesn't matter. If I had her maxed out at 7 stars, level 80, I can guarantee you we wouldn't do more than, let's say, 10 to 20% more damage than we're currently doing right now. So all that being said, let's get into it. So I did my absolute best to give her kind of optimal fights, and this is combo and chop double. First of all, we're going to use her without Brainiac in the first fight, and in the second fight we're going to use her with Brainiac. We have Shazam in there because honestly there was not much I could really give her to further boost her damage if we were not gonna put Brainiac in there, and Shazam gives her a little bit more attack, which is yet again not much, but it's something there. Having Shazam in that team is literally the equivalent of having her at 6 stars, I think, considering the current build, or at the very least at 5 stars. And we have Justic Flash for an additional fast attack hit, and Justic Flash is an amazing support for this, so he will significantly boost the damage. So if Flash wasn't there, we would do far less damage. I have the level 6 Dark Mel cards as I've showed you on her. We're going to have the level 6 Jokerized Batarangs on one of the other characters, and the level 3 Hand of Zatanna on another. And we're just gonna push this guy to a corner, we're going to combo and chop him, and we're going to spam third special. Another thing to point out is that I'm not gonna go ahead and use super move. The super move damage is really not worth it at lower star ratings. That's something that will indeed increase with the star rating, but not by that much. But at this point we would literally lose time by doing that, so that's why I'm not gonna do it. Keep pushing him to the corner. I'm not going to use specials until he's in the corner. You might see that I'm combo and chopping, but not using the last swipe of the combo. I'm just going 3 hits, swipe right, 3 hits. It's because it's almost impossible to combo and chop after finishing into a swipe with her, because her swipe staggers her for almost as long as it staggers the enemy, and the enemy is immediately able to hit you right after you get out of the animation, so it makes combo and choption hard and tedious, so I'm just not gonna bother with it. Combo and chopped again. Combo and chopped again. The damage values are quite low. This is comparable to the Black Adam damage values, at the very least on basic attack hits to an extent. Maybe a little bit more than him. Slightly more than him, but Black Adam is on the secondary account, and there we have far less passive stats, so that's something to keep in mind. Combo and chopped again. Third special. There we go. Combo and chopped again. Here we have a little bit more power because we're in the last minute, so we can use that third special more often. And you could give her some different artifacts to boost her, but a lot of people don't have different artifacts, and for a lot of people the Dark Mel cards is gonna be the absolute best scenario, so that's why we pretty much went for this. I could have just left it at the first video, but most of the people have been like, oh, use Jokerized Batarangs, that's not relatable to me, and yeah, fair points. Now we're going to try her with this way. And it's not much damage, it's really not much damage, it's barely any damage on the third special. You might be like, oh, that's decent values on the third specials. That's quite a lot. You're dealing there 2.8 million damage. And nah, not really. Again, she gets so much attack from the artifacts that we have on her. And the damage is, ladies and gentlemen, 42 million damage. That's... bro. That's absolute garbage. Look, I have a maxed out Primal Swamp Thing, and that's about the same value that Primal Swamp Thing would get with the same team to an extent. So this kind of proves that she's literally nothing special. I firmly believe that if I was to use Primal Swamp Thing, and I have used him with no Raven in there, and just try to do damage with him, I would get very, very similar values as she got. Now let's put the Brainiac in there, because Brainiac is something that Primal Swamp Thing can't use, and this might be one of the main reasons why you might think of building her, because you don't have a better legendary character to pair up with Brainiac. So yeah, we're going to get into it. I have Joker's Batterings on Brainiac, but that's not gonna make any differences, they're just for the passive stats. I guess because of it, Brainiac is gonna do a little bit more damage, but it's not gonna be something significant that will heavily impact the damage of the fights. Funny comment on the last video that I actually put, somebody was like, oh, Brainiac is doing more damage than her, and a fair point to an extent, like, he's mashing now with the Joker's Batterings debuff on the enemy. Brainiac's kind of doing at this point more than she did when she was alone without Brainiac. What if we use Brainiac as the damage dealer with Dark Melkars? That would be interesting, maybe a video for the future. But yeah, there we go, we are at 10 lethal stacks right now. And yeah, let's go, let's see how much he can deal. We kept Justic Flash in there because I felt like Justic Flash would add the most to this team, because we could also have max combo and a third special. That third special in there. And that's gonna be a little bit more damage than last time. It went up all the way to 6 mil damage, which is yet again not great. The basic attack hits have spiraled a bit in terms of damage. We went from dealing, let's say, 20 to 30k on basic attack hits to dealing sometimes 300k on single values of basic attack hits, so that's where the most significant boost is at. And yeah, it's still not going great, it's still not going amazing, we're not dealing a lot of damage, and getting into a little bit of a spoiler territory, I'm not gonna tell you the damage, you're gonna see it at the end of the fight, but I can tell you that I did similar values that I would expect out of Collector of Worlds Superman if I had him on this account at her level of being built. So I think the two characters are to an extent more or less equal in being garbage damage dealers, so it's more or less up to you in terms of picking one of them, but I would suggest Collector because he's 10 times better than her in Arena and Champions Arena, and at the same time he's got the power steal on the special one, which can be helpful. And he power steals with super moves, so if you're thinking about which one of them to build, I would suggest you pick Collector for Superman. And the damage is okay, I guess, though we're giving her so much and we're getting so little in exchange. So yeah, not really worth it. Okay, so out of entertainment purposes, out of you just wanting the character built, wanting to have fun with it, liking the character's gameplay, should you build Golden Armor Wonder Woman for performance? Should you build her over Manta or something else that you would pair up with Brainiac? No. Should you build her without pairing her up with Brainiac? No. Should you build her over Collector over Superman? No. The only reason why I would say you should build her for performance purposes is that if you played somehow, even though the Collector vs Superman challenge came before her, but somehow you have more shards and more gears for her. In that case, you can justify building her and pairing her up with Brainiac. If not, then nah bro, just go with my boy Collector. Also, the biggest letdown of this character is that her wings look good enough, but she's not able to open them and she's not using them in the fight. So that sucks in terms of a design perspective. But all that being said, honest opinion, she sucks ass. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.
This is the future.